Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm nervous. I'm nervous because the last time you left me and Evan alone in a room talk about The Last of Us went for 3 hours. And it's especially dangerous because we seem to be on equal footing. I mean, yes, he's played it more, but we both listened to The Last of Us podcast associated with this episode.
Yeah. There's so much to dive into with this episode. We're not going to go for like 3.5 hours. If you do want to hear us talk about The Last of Us Part 2 for 3.5 hours, I still don't know how we did that. What, 2 years ago now? Jesus Christ. Wow. We literally went day by day.
Seattle, day one.
But yeah, I recently did a Last of Us pre-episode podcast on another channel. So my head is full in on Last of Us. I love this episode. I can't wait to talk about it. And it's the first My Cup of Tea for the new year.
Yeah.
I think our last one was it was Avatar, right? Our Avatar review?
Avatar. Pre-winter break.
Exactly, yeah. So we've seen tons of other movies, or at least I have. That I kind of want to share, but that's about it.
I think I did. I think I must have caught something on the.
Did we talk Babylon last time?
No,
I don't think so.
I think it was the opening weekend of Avatar.
Yeah,
and then Babylon came out.
Oh, you're right. Babylon's
a
after
week or two
Avatar.
later.
Yeah, you're right. Babylon was like Christmas time.
And that's when I caught. I also caught the Whale since.
Nice. So have I.
And The Menu.
Have you also seen Puss in Boots?
Not yet.
Not yet. Menu's also great. Nathan's Come to Dine. I've also seen, I saw Megan playing. Chris Duckman was talking about it, but January movies so far have been pretty good.
I rewatched Smile.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah.
I was with you.
Oh, I didn't know when we did. Does that over break as well? Shit.
That was over break. You've experienced.
I experienced that.
The
Morbius, exactly. The worst post-credit scene probably of all time.
Here.
I feel like we watched something. Was it just Morbius and Smile that we watched at 3 a.m.?
Probably. Yeah, we were supposed to watch the Guardians Holiday Special.
We were, yeah. We've been playing Alien though.
We've been playing Alien Isolation. Those are coming.
Good times.
Wild.
Yeah. Where do you want to start off here? Do you want to start off with Last of Us? We can jump right in.
It feels dense as hell.
It does feel dense as hell. I mean, again, this is an 85-minute episode. We're not going to go beat by beat, but overall, are we good? Yeah, we'll see. You get me talking. I loved this episode. The Last of Us is a game, again, we talked about it for 3.5 hours, at least part 2, but it's a game that me and you have played for a long time. I got it on release day. I love this game so much. I've been playing the multiplayer. I've been playing the game in general since it released in 2013. And then I played Last of Us Part 2 numerous times as well. Last of Us Part 1 recently released on the PS5, a whole remastered remake version, and I loved that one too. So I've seen this story so many times. Just to see it on HBO for the first time, it was very surreal. I didn't want to be that guy watching every scene being like, oh, that's just like the video game. But I couldn't help myself because a lot of the scenes were great, and I kept saying that to myself. And just like the new performances from Pedro, Bella, Gabriel, Anna Torv as Tess, everybody was fantastic. The direction was great. I love what they did all in one episode. We got a lot in one episode, so very happy about that.
I was listening on the podcast because they were saying initially, I think they were saying it ends with
Oh yeah, full spoilers for this podcast, by the way. Full spoilers for The Last of Us. I guess I don't want to spoil what happens in the future episodes. We can just leave it to just episode 1 spoilers. I'm not gonna tell you what happens
in the game.
Yeah,
but we might need to.
If we do, we'll just say spoiler. Yeah,
for sure. But yeah, I remember listening on the podcast. They were initially like talking about what was the inciting incident for Joel? What was it? It was the death of Sarah. No. It's when he meets Ellie. So we have to keep it going, keep the episode going, get to that point at least.
Yeah, I can't imagine because that part was very funny. I was listening to it at 4 a.m. last night, and yeah, they were like, "Oh yeah, the scene would or the show would end with Sarah dying, and then Joel throwing another kid who died into the fire." I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like that's
Jesus,
dark as hell.
you trying to hook viewers?
Yeah, like that doesn't really hook viewers. I'm happy that one HBO exec like chimed in there, and said that because that's a lot. It's a depressing, dark. I teared up a little bit again during that scene. Nico Parker was fantastic as Sarah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm so happy that they ended. Like they included meeting Ellie. We got teased a little bit about like Riley. We got teased a little bit about Marlene's relationship with Ellie. And we're off to the races. We see at least like the whole Ellie and Joel scene when they're just waiting for Tess to come back at night. Like, oh, we got a lot done in one episode. And I think it's setting the case for like how this entire series can be done in 9 episodes. They can do a lot with these episodes. Granted, this one was 80 minutes and most are going to be like 55 to 80 minutes. But in general, I loved it.
Look, we can get a lot done, but you can't convince me we're not getting an individual episode for each day of Seattle. You just cannot convince me.
Oh yeah, but yeah, for part 2, they're gonna have to do multiple episodes per day because shit goes down in a lot of those days.
God, part 2 is so dense. it's
super dense.
Is it longer than the first one?
I would argue. I mean, it depends how fast you want to play a game, right? But I think it is longer. Because the spaces, the world is larger. Like it's not technically open world, but when Ellie first gets to Seattle, it's like it's huge. But yeah, this first episode, I thought like initially that the whole episode was going to be the prologue, and granted, that's what Neil kind of wanted to do early on. But we start off with this awesome newscast about like the disease, and we got my boy John Hammond from The Mummy. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I loved him there.
He was on Spartacus.
He's on Spartacus. He's a great actor, and he brought a lot of the necessary gravitas that needed to be said about like what this disease possibly is. Like he's not an expert on like what exactly happened, but he kind of comes close to the mark about like he mentions cordyceps. Like there's certain fungal diseases that could be happening, a la cordyceps, among other ones. I was like, oh, he said it. Like he mentioned one of the ones that eventually does come true decades later. It was very fascinating.
Yeah. I don't remember this scene in the game.
No. Why couldn't they just stick to the game? No, I'm kidding.
The global warming.
Yeah, that part was just so fascinating because I'm like listening.
It's fascinating. It's scary.
It's super scary, and it was so interesting how it goes from a super jovial like interview guy asking them questions, looking at the audience like, right guys, like what's going on?
Him and the audience were just dead silent by the end, just like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they're like, cut to commercial. What's next?
Fuck you, show me.
What are you showing me? But yeah, he was coming in hot, just saying like global warming, the kind of fungal disease that we cannot prepare for. Like we are not going to be able to defend or to combat against, at least from the jump. Like it's going to take a while for us to try and even combat, if at all. And that's kind of where he ends it, where he's just like, not hopeless, but just like, damn, like this is a scary future that nobody probably wants to see happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it because, again, mentioning it from the podcast, Neil said that they initially wanted to do this as a, what do you say, like as a YouTube video of the ant. I'm pretty sure people have seen it by now. I mean, if you're a deep fan, you probably have. But like for casuals, like there's this video of just an ant, like probably the National Geographic, interacting with this kind of like disease, and it slowly kind of morphs and it slowly like sprouts something similar to what you see with the clickers. And again, it's like you become like your body, you can't control it, right? Like like the fungus, the disease takes control of the person's or the individual, whatever insect, animal, humans mind, and you're out of, it's kind of like an out of body experience where you can't control anything that's happening to you anymore, and it eventually eats at you from the inside out. And it's pretty gross, pretty disgusting. And yeah, it kind of sets the tone for the episode, like a dark, scary tone about what could happen.
I'm sure it'll be all right.
Yeah, everything's gonna be fine, right? As we learn in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're fine. Biggest problem is we don't got pancake mix. Where's the pancake mix?
I'm surprised they weren't even waffles. Waffles are better than pancakes.
I'm inclined to agree. But yeah, man. So I didn't know who was playing Sarah in this. She's phenomenal. She got my heart right away. The episode's going, and we have the breakfast, and we meet Joel, who's just like so nice, just just like a dad.
He embodies Joel so well, and this is a different side of Joel that we don't really see much in the video game, because in the video game all we see is like Joel at night, like he gets the present from Sarah, and then he goes off, and then it's like shit hits the fan. But in this one, like, we see him with his like his shirt inside out. He's so like, what are we doing, like, with his job and the whole cement business, like in construction, like with a different side, like fatherly Joel just going about his day, his daughter cooking breakfast for him. It was very sweet, and I really liked the relationship off the bat.
Yeah, it's so good. And then Tommy also comes in the same scene. How does Gabriel sound 1-for-1 the same?
It's sick. I'm like, this is illegal. Like Pedro...
Identity theft isn't a joke.
Like Pedro sounds like Joel in a way, right? Like there's certain lines where I'm like, damn, that sounds just like Troy Baker. But Gabriel is next level. Gabriel just sounds just like, I think his name is Jeffrey Thomas as Tommy. And it's insane. It's insane. It's like, I can't even recreate it, but I'm just like, this is wild. But it does give us a glimpse, like this whole scene here when Gabriel comes in or Tommy comes in. Tommy's a big focus in this first episode. And again, in comparison to the game, Gabriel or Tommy, you just meet him in the car. He says, "Where you been, Joe? I've been calling you all night." Like he comes in as the guy to kind of like save everybody in the prologue, and then he's helpless with the whole Sarah thing, and then he's off. We don't see him. But this one, Tommy had a bigger focus than I was even anticipating in this first prologue, both in the prologue section and in the time jump in 2023. Tommy's like essence is all over this episode.
Yeah,
I was kind of surprised by that, because usually, like in the game, Joel's like very distant from Tommy, but they switched it. Like Joel was like actively looking for the car engine to actively go look for Tommy, which is really cool. But yeah, in general, Gabriel Luna was fantastic in this scene.
I've been known on record to say, like, most of my favorite points while watching like movies or shows, it's just the calm before the storm, before shit hits the fan, just like the average day to day. The characters just enjoying their time, because it just feels comfy, it feels nice. I like everyone's interactions. It's nice. Can we just stay, please?
Yeah, like what would have happened? We just see Joel and Sarah, like basic drama television. Is just like no zombies, no outbreak. It's just the Real Housewives of Joel and Sarah.
It's just the next day they get cake, and it's like, good cake.
Oh yeah, good cake. Yeah. Happy birthday, Joel. Yeah,
I'll go finish Vipers.
yeah, let's do it. But yeah, I really loved like their whole dynamic. Like you obviously tell Sarah deeply loves Joel, and Joel deeply loves Sarah, and then they love Tommy. Like they have all three of them have a great relationship from the bat. And yeah, in general, this whole calm, it's a calm before the storm, but it's also not, right? Like
it's amidst like the uprising. Like there's so many small details like sprinkled around, just like from the first radio broadcast alone. Like clearly something's about to come out that would like catch wind, but they just start like, oh yeah, where is this place? Is that in this location?
Yeah, they're like I forget, it was like some kind of outbreak in Indonesia, right? And then like
I don't think it was that easy.
Yeah. They're like, is something in Indonesia? Like, what's going on here? It's like, oh, you don't know where that is. So it's like something's happening over there. And then I think after this is when she goes to school, right? I think
She goes to school. There's a kid by his notebook and his fingers are twitching a bit.
Oh, really? I didn't notice that.
Yep, that was going down. She makes her way to the shop to fix the watch, which as soon we're going.
Yeah, I mean, it was so cute to like, he already owned the watch, but she's going to get the watch and steal his own money to go fix it because she knows he never would. Super sweet gesture from Sarah. But yeah, like during this, like when at the shop, they get all those police cars. I think before that, like, were there airplane jets before the shop or after the shop?
I think either before she enters the shop, there is like one or two fighter jets just circling around, and then when she's in the shop, we get like 2 police cars, a fire truck, and a SWAT truck.
Yeah,
all back to back. It's like, Jesus Christ. And someone says it's like, oh, all day. Does it raise you suspicion?
It's weird because this does take place in 2003 in comparison to the game. Gameplay takes place in 2013. So it's like, 2003, you can't just go and check your phone. Somebody mentioned that to me. Maybe it was in the podcast. But like, you can't like go on your phone and see, hey, Twitter, what's going on here? Like, is everything cool? Like, you're just walking around, you hear cars going about, like, oh, must be a fire, must be some kind of emergency, but shouldn't bother me. It kind of reminded me of, have you seen White Noise yet?
No.
There's like some kind of like pandemic that hits in White Noise. And it was something similar to that. It's like, where how do you don't really know what's going on with this outbreak or anything. You're just like, oh, I mean, I'm sure it's nothing, but then it progressively escalates and it's out of your control basically. But yeah, I really liked it where, he's just helping her fix the watch. And then I think the shop owner's wife comes over and is like, you got to get out. Cause like she was apparently listening to the news or whatever. Like, this is when the alerts start coming in to stay at home, stay inside. And then Sarah books it home, catches a bus or something and comes home.
Yeah, she goes straight to the neighbor's house.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
For starters.
The Adlers.
Yeah, not the Coopers.
No.
Not this time. I'm only aware of that because I was watching somebody made scene comparisons. I was like, oh shit. Some of these are 1-for-1s, insane.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, she goes to the neighbors and they're baking cookies, oatmeal raisin, crime.
I love oatmeal raisin.
The crime.
Oatmeal raisin is better than chocolate chips. Sue me.
All right, I will for damages. Look, man, I'm saying they cut to that shot of them baking. They look more like potatoes than cookies.
Yeah, those cookies didn't look the best, but I'll
2003 cookies.
I'll take your word for it. Shit.
But yeah, there's things are going on. It's God, just like they're so good. Joel and Sarah are so good because even like before they left for school, it was like talking to the neighbors, just like, oh hey, don't you love biscuits? I do, but I'm on Atkins. Oh, no.
I'm on Atkins, like trying to get out of it, and then just like you can immediately get the vibe that these neighbors aren't like. I mean, they're kind, they're innocent, but they're like one of those annoying neighbors that you just have to like, oh fuck, like I'll go talk to them. And Sarah's so nice that she goes over and actively like cares for her, like cares for the Nana, I think, and
yeah, kind. I mean, she must have just doing homework.
Exactly, yeah. Doesn't
but
do shit.
It's just the presence, I guess.
Yeah, it keeps them company, which is nice. I wouldn't have done that, but
they made there was a small tidbit that they had recently, like that around that day, had visited a hospital for medication, and potentially that's where she had gotten infected.
Well, yeah, this whole notion of like the people, was that straight from the games too, where if you're closer to the city,
maybe. I mean, there was also
the car ride dialogue blends so much in the game. Like I've listened to it so many times, I have no idea if that was from the game or not.
I think that's also like a new thing they're like laying the ground for because I don't think they're doing spores in this iteration.
No. But it was interesting seeing like how everyday people would just like boom, like turn into it, like without like, I'm so used to people getting infected that
Yeah.
I'm not used to seeing people like sprout out of nowhere or start spasming out of nowhere. But yeah,
Yeah,
while
that
they're at the
was
Adlers, like it's horrifying. We get one of my favorite scenes in the episode where she's looking at the bookcase or the bookshelf, and in the background, you see like the Nana like start twitching. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, what
oh
is
no.
happening? Like, is it happening? Like,
I've seen it
what?
chapter 2. I don't I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Oh
it,
man.
it
But
looks
yeah,
freaky.
that's going on. And she steps over before even like taking notice to ask if she could borrow the DVD for Joel, which is a movie he was looking forward to watching. Last of Us 2. Cool Easter egg.
Oh yeah. Like that whole I forget some Viper or something along those lines.
Is it
Yeah,
Curtis?
Curse of the Viper,
Curtis? The Viper?
Curtis.
2?
Yeah, I thought initially it was like that wolf thing that he and Ellie see later on in the game, in
Uh,
one of their adventures. But yeah, that was a very nice Easter egg, very cool. And Joel likes the same movies that we do, monster movies.
yeah.
Um,
I
but yeah,
love it when he got the gift and he's like, oh, it's one with the deleted scenes. I'm like, he just like me.
yeah. But yeah, the whole Adler scene was just super nerve wracking. Like it's keeping the tension. Like the tension never stops, even when during these mundane things. But yeah, when he comes home, he comes home initially, right? Then he leaves.
Oh yeah, he comes home and seemingly he's in for the night.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yes.
have a nice scene. They talk about the getting the watch fixed. And they have a nice moment. And they have the thing with the movie. They'll get the cake tomorrow, and it's
I'm
just
not gonna fall asleep, right?
yeah. It's like don't fall asleep. I won't. Just knocked out. The classic
I've done it plenty of
parent kid.
times. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's just sitting there. And it was at that point when I saw that is when there's footage of this on my channel. I have my reaction up. Where I just get overwhelmed and I'd start getting really teary, which is funny because
Wow.
I played the game once in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a couple years removed from it, but the wound is still fresh. And so seeing it come to pass, and I think it's even more effective because we got to go through that day with Sarah, and see their cadence multiple times.
Yeah, that was super smart.
So then as soon as like it's just panning up, I'm like, oh God, don't no, I don't, because I know in the point in the game that it's about to happen. But we do get a slight break because then Tommy calls. He's in jail. Joel has to get him out before he's locked for the weekend.
Again, brand new, which I really like because I think in the game you're not really sure why Joel was out. I think again work or something like that, or maybe I think he left a note on the fridge that you can read if you're scared. But again, these things are optional. So if you're just playing through the game, you don't really know unless you explore everything. But yeah, he has to go rescue Tommy. Like I said at the beginning, Tommy has like that constant presence in the episode, which is really cool. And Joel has to be like the Joel's the older brother, right?
Is he? They're both older gentlemen.
God dang it. Because I play the game so many times, I can't remember. It's like my younger brother, Joel, older brother, Tommy. It doesn't say. But either way, I'll find it later. But it was really cool. I think Tommy's the younger brother. But it was really cool seeing how Joel was like, F it, fine, I'll go rescue my brother.
Yeah.
Last week was best video game adaptation. Oh, wait, see that again? Ever see it can be done. Yeah. I think live action wise for sure. If you want to see animation, go see Castlevania and Arcane.
Yes.
Those are both excellent video game adaptations. But yeah, Last of Us is definitely proving what you can do with a televised adaptation format for video games. Like God of War is in the books, or God of War is coming. Horizon Zero Dawn is coming as well. Like they have big shoes to fill and to follow. But yeah, this is when Joel leaves, and you can kind of feel like that fatherly pain where it's like, it's my birthday, I don't want to leave her alone in the house, but she's grown, she'll be fine. I'll go rescue my younger brother. Yeah.
He puts her to bed around 11, and then stuff starts going down around 2. So I'm gone for a while.
Yeah, what's taking them so long? I wonder.
And then the window's glowing green.
Yeah,
Transformers
green,
glowing.
blue, purple. I'm like, oh shit! Like, what's going on inside? Was that
Right?
because was that the electrical stuff blowing up?
Yeah, I think it like Transformers are blowing.
Oh, okay.
But then she starts sifting around. She turns on the news. Nothing's broadcasting except for just busy signals and advisory warnings. The scary shit that traumatizes us kids.
Yeah.
Like, guys, can you pick a better sound, please?
And if you're playing the game, you were half expecting Joel to come crashing through the window. It's like, oh, don't go near the door, Sarah. But I love how they did it here. Like, it was very deliberate, slow paced. Like, she's scared. It's just very raw and real. Where she's like wondering what the hell is going on. Her dad's not home. She has no idea what's happening. And does she go outside first, or see the dog first?
Sees the dog first, which is very like smart writing to like pull her into the situation because she knows this dog, an innocent being. So she goes to like bring him in at least, or then go to take him home. But then he's like really like struggling, like, don't get me in there. Yeah. Breaks his collar, runs away, and she sees the doors open, so she goes to check everything's all right.
Oh, by the way, no way in hell. I love you, Sarah. You're great, Sarah. There's no way in hell I'm going to investigate a house whose door was ajar already.
Evan, they're old.
They're old. And I like that. So it's like, I can see where Sarah's coming from. In any normal situation, minus like a pandemic crazy, she has no idea that there's like a possible man-eating creature inside. Yeah. Which you can't really predict. So I think in her mind, she says like, oh, they're so old, they could have easily just fallen down and they probably need help getting up, or maybe they're injured or something like that. Like,
someone could have forgot to shut the door or something.
Exactly. So I kind of can understand that. But it's later on where I'm just like, Sarah, what are you thinking? So it's like when she goes inside, she's calling for their name, she doesn't hear anything.
And then she slips on a big old glob of blood.
Now, Nathan.
Well, okay, it happens real fast. It's all.
What would you? Is it real fast? Run the other direction.
Well, at first I'm taken aback by someone I know being like gushing.
True. Oh yeah, it's weird. The old dude is bleeding, and he's like, "Come help me." No, you should say, "Hey, run, little girl." Why are you saying, "Come help me"?
It's over.
It's over. It's like she could die if she comes to help you. You should be saying, "Run away."
I'm sorry, Santa. Christmas ain't coming this year. But she's probably also equally like confused by seeing the oldest woman on the face of the earth. Just like,
yeah. Oh, that was gross.
And it threw me off at first when she's like rising up, because I thought she had like hair coming out of her mouth.
I thought it was hair. What was it?
It was the fungus.
Oh, no way!
It grew out. That's why she was like convulsing her, because it was like sprouting.
No way! Are you that confirmed? You know that? I gotta
for real? Yeah.
Oh,
if you look at it again, it ain't hair.
Oh my god, that's gnarly.
It is.
Oh, gross! Because I thought she was biting down hard and she lifted it up because it was all that like old woman hair or something.
No, I think it's spreading the
cordyceps, the infection.
You know.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that's foul.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so jarring, and the show zooms in on it too. It's not even from Sarah. It kind of is from Sarah's perspective, but it's like the camera zooms in on like the mouth and everything like that, and just like the Nana's eyes are dazed, and oh my god, that's when shit has gone crazy. That's when she starts running, takes a step back, starts running out the house.
Yeah. Joel and Tommy pull up
just in time,
and it's at that point I'm like, well, here we go.
Yeah, that old lady's got to go.
Yeah, so then she's running out. Joel presses X.
Quick time event. If you miss, Sarah gets bitten.
Joel!
Oh shit!
What are we doing, Joel?
Mission failed.
I thought Tommy was gonna shoot.
Me too. I thought Tommy was gonna shoot up real quick, but Joel.
He was waiting to hear.
I do like how it was smart, to have Joel be the one to do it here, just so you can compare the reactions, like they all talked about, between Sarah and Ellie at the end of the episode.
Oh, I wrote that down. I'll bring
Oh
it up
yeah,
on
for
the-
sure. There's a whole thing there. But yeah, so Joel beats up, or not beats. I think it's like one hit. One or
One
two
hit,
hits.
drops the wrench. Why?
Oh, did he
Why?
drop it? Oh, geez.
He did.
Yeah.
They don't know. They don't know you're gonna need the weapon wheel. Because then Joel is like pulling out like 5 different things like later in his apartment. I'm like, yeah, get that weapon wheel. But we got Tommy. It's good. So we all hop in the truck and we drive. And oh my god, it wasn't until I saw the speed comparison. The signs they pull up to are 1 for 1 the same. Like
Oh, really?
exactly the same. Yeah, the street signs.
Hey, I couldn't tell because I just remember the experience being so fucking similar. Like, if you see behind the scenes, they have, of course, the camera guy inside of the car with Nico Parker and just like following her every like move, just like it was from the game. It's like, it's crazy. And in the game, you could just like sit still and just have like Tommy drive you around. It's up to you to like go to the window and go to either side and just look. And that's what Sarah does in here. Like, she goes to the window, sees a burning house come down. It's crazy.
It's real scary. Burning house.
Awesome.
Goddamn, the family on the side of the road.
Yeah, we should help them. Keep on going.
It's
like, oh,
someone will come along, and I'm like, I've seen Logan.
Someone has come along.
I know. which will be Joel in the future. But
I hurt myself. No.
But oh my god, it hurts because like upon rewatch, like I heard what Sarah said in response. She's just like they could fit in the back. Like,
I know. Oof.
like,
oof,
oh
oof.
no.
I mean, they probably
Joel,
could.
so do we. Like, oh, no.
They probably could, but again, if I'm Joel in this situation, I'm taking the same precaution. Like, I can't. Like, I need to stick with my tribe, the people that I can 100% trust and count on. In this situation, you never know what might happen. Yeah.
Now, they had something which I think was new to this, not in the game. Which I was really taken aback by is like Tommy's driving. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And they look up, and just big commercial airliners coming through.
Oh yeah.
And then they look behind, and 2 more are coming through, and I'm like, "Oh my fucking god!" They've commandeered the airwaves. I don't know for how long.
Snake's on a plane. Is Gerard Butler in there?
A spin-off special I would love to see the perspective of.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so cool.
Outbreak at the airport? Oh god.
Oh my gosh. Like, yeah. I always love like airport outbreak scenarios. I'm trying to remember one or something that happens in an airport, but like airports are like, you know, as a setting is perfect because they're always congested. And if you're in an airplane, then it's congested and you're isolated and you're in like a enclosed space, so it gets even crazier. So I would love something like that as well. But yeah, like just the inclusion of these airplanes, very fascinating. I love it. HBO showing their budget. It's like, yeah, we're gonna bring in some big airplanes in this prologue here.
Which makes it interesting because like while they're driving to their wherever they're trying to go, initially in the game they get hit by a car and that causes the inciting incident of things to roll. But they almost hit the car this time and it doesn't hit them.
Nope, they dodge.
They're
in the multiverse.
Yeah. So
what would have happened if they dodged the car?
Can I play as Sarah again? They're driving, they're going off the road, and they turn over, and they have the horizon reveal like the military lineup, and they do in a way where like obviously it's like a hill thing the way they were driving, but it felt just like a game when it's just like boom, like oh shit, blockade.
It was crazy. Like so many people on the streets, people fleeing the movie theaters. Like it's insane.
Oh, God.
I can't imagine being in a movie theater and like you're eating your popcorn, see somebody next to you, just like, I'm like, oh shit.
Everyone running out of theater. Every time I see something like that horror related, I think of the Blob, the OG horror film. That was a big thing.
Oh, I never saw it.
Yeah, there's a scene where like the Blob's going around, and I think it's in the theater, and so everybody's like running out. Even to that point, I think that same theater, when they have screenings of the Blob, they have a designated point where everybody runs out.
That's really cool.
Yeah, but they're driving along.
They try to reverse, right?
Yeah, they drive through. It's like, all right, back it up. Never mind. Cause it's the plane. It's a plane that
blew me away.
And upon rewatches, I see like it's in the frame the whole time. As soon as you pan over, it's just small because it's
Yeah. You see that blinking light.
Yeah, and it's coming
crazy.
down. And as soon as you realize what's coming, you're just like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I thought like the whole thing was like gonna come crashing through the street, but it blows up kind of like a block or two away, and then shrapnel starts.
I guess
flying.
an engine shoots forward, bounced off the building. Felt like Cloverfield.
It did, yeah.
With like
we got to commentary that.
I still have to watch Cloverfield. I've seen like trailer footage.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that happens, and Sarah's ankle's broken, and they get separated from Tommy.
Oh yeah, also a switch, but I liked it. Yeah, like the alley is basically blocked by the exploding car.
Yeah, their car, which then gets hit by another, and that locks them in. So they run. There's like a whole like horde of infected getting like birthed. And then one of them gets up and starts.
Oh my god! Yeah, down. That scene was gnarly, like disgusting. Like it was like a nesting ground of like 12 or so people just getting mauled by runners. Basically, at this point, they're just runners, and they're just like go into town, and then you just that one shot, like, oh my god, like,
I don't like this meerkat.
No, not a fan, buddy, not a fan.
Please don't Hakuna Matata, please.
And Joel just books it. I mean, gosh, I can't imagine the fear that must be going through his mind. Like, this whole scene was super intense. My mom texted me during this scene. I think she was like, "This prologue is so gross." I'm like, "Just stick with it. Just stick with it. It doesn't get better, but it gets palatable.
Less than gnarly, I guess.
Get less gnarly. I mean, episode 2 is going to be
less as common.
Episode 2 is going to be just crazy in the downtown area. But
I think Neil's directing that one.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, he's running through the diner. The thing's crashing, causing chaos all right behind him. Whew. And then we get to the.
I'd like to say again.
Please.
I am like I'm like riding the line of being choked up this entire prologue because any moment could be the last,
Yeah, you started choking up right when the clock.
I'm choking up on the couch.
On the couch, yeah. Oh, jeez.
And then things are going. I'm just like, okay, whoa, this is crazy. And then just anytime I see an semblance of like cutting between Joel and Sarah, I'm just like,
you're gonna be okay. And then they get to the bridge. They get to. It's dark. It's lit only by the guy on the perimeter, Fedra guy. And he's like, put up your hand, just like, we're just seeking rescue, like
we're not sick.
We're not sick. And I didn't notice this, but it could be maybe like I played this game again so many times. But when he asked Joel, like, are you guys sick? He says, no, my daughter's ankle was hurt.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't say. He doesn't ask.
You mentioned the ankle though, right?
Yeah. The guard doesn't ask if he's sick. Joel's just like immediately just like, we need help. We're not sick. My daughter, her ankle. And so the guy calls in. He's like, I got 2 civilians, one of them injured.
Yeah, and I think the guy up, whoever he's talking to is like probably like, oh, if she got bit in the ankle, they gotta go. So I think he confused them for getting. I think he was confused thinking she got bit in the ankle.
Yeah, the situation wasn't clear, or even if it was clear, I don't think they wanted to take chances. So his higher up was just like, take him out, and because he even questioned like, say again.
Yeah, I could not do that if I'm the security guard. No way in hell.
Things are already going. I mean, just go.
Okay, I'm like, just go.
If it's your last moment, it's just far as you can.
I would not be able to do what he ungodly did.
No,
and it's just so it's tense. It's wild. It's heartbreaking.
It hurts because
it hurts.
He puts the gun back up, and Joel's just like taking it back, just like, sir, we're not sick.
But he knows, like, that, like, oh shit, like
that's why he goes to turn to like brace Sarah away.
Yeah,
and then they fall down in the ditch, and he's about to get taken out by Joel. He even just like, I'm sorry that it's come to this. But then Tommy comes in with the save. He pressed
Tommy.
he pulled the trigger. He pulled L2, R2.
What a different game if Joel and Sarah die and Tommy's your main character and just witnessing his brother and niece just die. Like, that'd be crazy.
I was rewatching a scene from Last of Us 2. The scene where Tommy comes back after the head wound. When Ellie's settled down. Because I cannot wait whenever Gabriel performs that scene.
Oh, that scene's gonna be fantastic. I think Tommy's fantastic in part 2, and I think that scene in particular, very good scene for Tommy. But yeah, oh my god, like Nico Parker was just unreal in this, and the way like Craig, the director, talks about it, the way they did it in the first game is like it's so raw and it feels so real. It's not like, oh, Sarah's automatically dead. No, when he's crawling to her helpless, she's still frantically breathing and there's nothing he can do, and he's trying to get up, and I'm just like, oh my god, I was just speechless,
writhing in pain because just any movement hurts. And I'm like, oh god, man, no,
it's heartbreaking. It's soul crushing.
It really is. I'm sitting there. I know what's happening. I know what's coming, but you don't want to believe it.
Yeah, I'm sitting there watching with my brother, and I'm just like, hands in my face. We're both speechless. We're like it's hard to get through. It's hard to get past. Like, this is one of the most iconic prologues to a video game ever, and it never gets easy, whether live action or in this video game or whatever. And just Pedro and Nico's performances here were incredible. Great stuff here.
I like to say on subsequent viewings, it doesn't get better.
No.
Even just like I was watching like a bunch of different people react to the episode, like I did, and I'm just watching the inciting incident every time, and I'm watching them just like, fuck. I keep leaking.
But yeah, it's a great scene. It's a great scene, and as people have always talked about, this is a big cornerstone for Joel. I always say cornerstone because Westworld always makes me say cornerstone now. Like, whenever something tragic happens in Westworld, like, that's your cornerstone. That's a moment that you will never forget. And I think for Joel, that's his cornerstone. Like, he will never forget this moment. This moment kind of defines him. Like, this and meeting Ellie both like shaped Joel in two different ways. And yeah, like, it's crazy because at this moment his daughter dies and his clock stops. Like, his clock on his watch stops. It's noted by Ellie. And as I've always said, like, this is the moment where Joel's life kind of comes to a standstill. He can't evolve. He can't get past this moment. His clock has stopped. Time has basically stopped for his growth, in a sense, like his growth to be the best version of himself. It kind of stopped when his daughter dies, and he kind of goes down a dark path because he's lost all he's reason to live. He still has like fatherly instincts that we'll talk about later in the episode. He still has like those paternal characteristics / traits. And he still has people he cares for, as in Tess and Tommy. But this moment, with the clock stopping, with his death of his daughter, really shapes Joel big time.
All on his birthday.
All on his birthday.
Your birthday being the day the world ended in more ways than one.
God damn. It's tragic. 20 years later, Bob.
2020. Not the year. I just mean 20 years.
2023. Joel
is now 56.
Yep.
And spry as ever.
Yeah.
We'll see.
What's the first scene that we see here?
The boy hobbling through.
Oh, yes.
Boston.
Great call.
Boston, day one.
I did not expect this to be what it ended up being. Like, fuck. But this was really cool. We get the setting, we get the layout of Boston from the outside first, then go inside. Very big departure from the game, but I really like seeing that more deeper expansion of what the layout of Boston is during the daytime. It looks like as a whole. It's a gated up city now. It's gated up. Security at every corner. It's kind of like Train to Busan in that sense, where like everything's gated up, and he's like slowly walking to the city, to civilization, towards salvation, to get help. And I'm like, oh, cool, yeah, like he's gonna come in. I figured my early theory was like, oh, he's gonna be put into some kind of school environment, and that's when he's gonna meet Ellie, and that's when the audience is gonna meet Ellie. Wow. But no, that's not what happens.
No, not at all. They come in and they just ask them some questions, and then they
Fedra's the new law of the land in this area.
Yeah. Fascist, more like. Awful. Oh, I forgot how awful.
They're not plain awful though, like, right? I think this scene exemplifies.
I think it was handled the best way they could for a child they have to lose.
Yeah. I think this gave Fedra some. It gave them humanity, but it didn't give them humanity. Like it gave us as an audience a perspective that we can understand, but still say like, oh, okay, these are not like your prototypical bad guys, but these are the people that aren't like your common man, right? Like your common man is going to be seen in this next scene with Joel and the people doing jobs. Like those are your common people. Fedra's the one taking people out.
Evan, they're hanging people in the streets.
Not great.
Not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob.
For the minimalist shit.
But I'll get to that in a second. That's funny. Not funny, but yeah. Anyways, when is it a boy, right? When the child gets like scanned, and it goes red, right?
Yes.
It goes red, infected. Which means infected. I was like, does red mean infected? Does green mean infected? I forget which one meant infected.
Red and no, green to go. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, what? I don't know. So I don't think we get the color like once in the game, which we see in the show, like during the nighttime sequence when he's checking Ellie. I'm like, oh, okay, it was red. I should probably guess that. But when she tells him like, yeah, you have your favorite food, your favorite whatever you want, I'm like, oh, okay.
all the toys.
Yeah, I bet it was like super jarring. It's like, what's gonna happen? And then, oh my god, what a jump cut,
man!
Because
or not, you don't even see it right away. I mean, there is a jump cut to just the flames, and you're just like, okay, and your brain is kind of piecing together like, are we burning bodies? And then they're just throwing them right in like logs in the fire.
Oh yeah. I'll be right back. Keep on talking.
Okay. Hello. Alone. But yeah. It's going on. We're just seeing the different people shoveling around town, just trying to keep the streets some semblance of normal. I mean, nothing looks great. We're like painting over graffiti, Firefly stuff. But there's literally like truckloads of bodies that they're clearing out, whether that's just like they put down infected, or probably the more prominent thing is like they put down people who didn't turn yet but are infected, which is just a horrible thing because there is no cure at this point in time. It's Jesus. Sorry, I was thinking about the further thing of the game and I had to stop. But yeah, man, the way they just have to unload these bodies and they get to like the one woman who is our connective tissue to seeing Joel of the present day.
Oh, Tess?
No, just the civilian woman who's helping unload the bodies, but she sees the child body and she's like, I can't.
Oh my god.
And then that's when we see Joel with his mask down, and then we see like confirmed by like the clothing and the shoes, it was the kid that we saw a few moments ago.
What a shot. Like this is some straight up Schindler's List kind of BS. Yeah. Like this was dark. And to see Joel, like, because she's not able to do it, and Joel's the one to be like, I'll do it. Because again, his soul has been broken. Like
he's as numb as ever.
He's numb. He's numb to the pain. So he's just like, I'll do it.
He's the definition of hurt by Johnny Cash.
I hurt myself.
Which is a cover in and of itself of a rock song.
Oh yeah,
Go figure.
I like the Johnny Cash version better.
Yeah. But yeah, it just throws the body in like nothing. Carry the same way as Sarah.
Oh God. Thanks, Nathan. Jesus Christ.
They did it. I didn't want it.
But yeah, this whole notion of like Joel having to do these menial jobs, I think he goes to the guys like, which one pays more between sewage and like I think cleaning up. It's like cleaning up the sewers or whatever.
Street sweeping and
yeah.
sewage. It's like, yeah, which one pays more? I probably want to shovel shit. Yeah, all right, yeah. I'll take it.
This show has some little beats of comedy. Of course, that's what Ellie's for now.
And he gets his ration payments.
Yeah, gets his rations, 50 portions.
He got his Monopoly money.
Exactly. But yeah, he's not living the best life. But we do know later on in the episode, like he does have a smuggling operation on the down low, which helps him get even more money, and more like supplies and good items. I think right after this, right, he goes from the ration line straight to he sees the Fedra officer. I forget his name now, but he sees him.
I don't think he got a name.
Probably doesn't have a name. Yeah, Fedra officer number 1. Bye. You're gone.
Yeah.
Little does he know that his last day would be his last second to be peeing on the side of the building. But he meets Joel in exchange for some cigarettes, right?
No, he buys off of him a specific pill.
You're right. Like a pill to help you stay awake, basically.
Yeah, but he was short like 5. And so presumably he bought cigarettes with that, so he gives Joel that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they're wrapping it up. He's it's so funny, just like in this apocalypse world, he's like, I need the bag back.
Yeah, I need the bag. You better give me my Ziploc bag, bitch. I need it.
Yeah. Don't rip it.
Yeah. Is this when we first learned about like the battery? Is it from this scene or later on?
No, it's when Tess is
okay.
Hostage mode.
Yeah. Which is the next scene?
Yes.
I loved this scene. It was very comedic, very funny, very sarcastic. Like Anna Torv was incredible as Tess. And this is a slightly different Tess. They mentioned this on the podcast. Like Tess in this one seemed very hardened. But I'd argue she was very hardened in the game as well. But there's a lot of like subtext in the game. It's like, did she and Joel have this romantic relationship? How like threatening of a woman is Tess? Like Tess, like in the game, just points up, starts shooting Robert's man, and Joel's like, "Oh shit, okay, here we go." And in this one, it's like she's getting interrogated. She's the one being interrogated, but you can tell she has the power in the room. It's kind of very similar to like Black Widow's iconic first scene in Avengers, where it's like she's the one getting interrogated, but she still has all the power.
It's really funny too, because like the whole, I guess it was like an accidental incident where her guys jumped her, and so now he's freaking out, just like, oh, you're mad at me.
You're mad, like he's scared for Joel too. Like your guy's gonna kill my man. Like no, I'll tell him. Like
she's like, I'm just tired, man. Yeah, I don't care. She does.
She does. Narrator, she does. She's lying.
He was right to be afraid.
Yeah, very afraid. But yeah, so it's just like he's scared of her. He's scared of Joel. Because apparently like his guys beat her up and they brought her here. And then, but it's basically because he's in the wrong. He was supposed to give Tess and Joel a battery for a car, and he sold it off to somebody else. At that point in the episode, we have no idea who, but basically he betrayed them and not going so well for him.
No.
And then more chaos.
He does seemingly is just about to confirm, or I guess he does in the very last second. They're like, all right, she can go. Just boom.
Yeah.
Firefly Rebellion, baby.
That was crazy. I did not see that happening. I thought Robert was the one who had died here in this scene.
No, I think one of his men did.
One of his men did. But yeah, this was crazy. She walks outside like, what the fuck? And it's a full-on Firefly versus Fedra war going on the streets. Like this is their life. Like there's people getting shot up in the streets. You don't know what to do. Like it's crazy. Like I probably would have done the same thing Tess has done. Like I'm walking out. Like there's nowhere else to go. She was running on both sides. Like there was no good option there.
Yeah, and then she gets taken into custody.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually released, but it's just fuck. I mean, how do you prove you're not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm glad they skipped it over because, like, yeah, we know if she gets out eventually. But yeah, that's when we cut to Joel sleeping in the bed, and then Tess comes in with him.
Yeah. So, and that was another thing they were talking about on the podcast, like the alluding to a romance, and it's like, no, yeah, yeah. Cool.
They do love each other. Yeah, like good for Joel, good for Tess. Like you need some kind of like connection, some kind of like a good soul to have in this awful, unrelenting world. Like they're both hardened people. Like Joel is not a great guy here. Tess aren't great people, but like, I mean, they do bad things, but like they do stuff in order to survive. Like they're not murderers or anything, unless like they get slighted. Ben, what is up? Finally started Andor 3 episodes in. That's what I'm talking about.
Good
That's
arc.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, those first 3 episodes really hook you in. Like episode 3 in particular really hooks you into Andor. Like, okay, this is where the show gets great. Yeah, Ben, it will never let you go. It's a great show.
Well, since that arc's done, you just did. Why don't you take a break? Go check out The Last of Us.
Yeah, go check out Last of Us. Yeah, Ben, have you seen The Last of Us yet? Come on, man.
Have you at least played it?
Because we are spoiling stuff.
But then they talk about the next day the battery, and then Joel lets Tess maybe more.
We
so
need the battery, Tess. We need the battery.
I need the battery.
We have the battery. the way he said it was very funny. We need the battery to start the car, Tess.
Need the battery.
He was not happy.
No. Because specifically he needs.
He was like, we don't really need it, right? It's like, okay, fine.
No. I needed to get to Tommy.
Yeah.
It's like,
we're not walking. I need the battery.
The new catchphrase unlocked.
It's great. I'm gonna rewatch that clip now.
Where are you playing games? Like, I gotta charge my battery.
And Tess, like again, straight from the podcast, as like I think it was Neil or Craig, one of them said like she's kind of like not molding Joel here, but just kind of like amping up her caged animal in a sense. Ben has never seen or played The Last of Us. Fair. We're doing spoilers though, Ben. So watch that first episode or mute us or whatever. But glad to be here. Leave a like, subscribe. You already have. But yeah, you should definitely play The Last of Us. Whether it's Last of Us Remastered or Last of Us Part 1 that's on PlayStation right now. I recommend it. One of my favorite games of all time. It's great. It's bliss. It's beautiful. It's dark. It's everything. It's an emotional roller coaster. But I like how Tess is like, kind of like slowly amping him up, saying like, we're going to go after him. We're going to get our battery. Like, we're going to do our shit. So Tess and Joel have this very interesting relationship where it's like did they use the word like she controls him on the podcast? I'm not sure. But it's like Joel was just like when he sees her bruised face, he's like visibly like, oh shit, like I'm gonna beat up whoever did this to you. So he has like a lot of anger, and Tess is there to control that anger. And it's a very interesting outlook that she has on him. Like they have a very interesting relationship. Of course, as we've established, they love each other, or at least they're in a relationship. I don't know how deep their love goes, but they have respect. They have a connection for each other. But then Tess is willing to like amp up her caged animal because she knows Joel can be ruthless. She knows Joel can be very feral, as we see at the very end of this episode. So like what she's saying to him now is what she knows what he can do. She knows what he can accomplish, as we see at the very end, as Ellie sees at the very end. But yeah, in general, that was a great scene. And they're off to go look for Robert by going through the city, under the city.
Through the city even.
Yeah, going to get through the shortcut. I'm upset they didn't go to the workbench.
Oh yeah.
Upgrade their materials.
Where's the mask, Seven?
Where's the mask? Oh my gosh, where are the spores in the mask? No, it's fine.
We'll be okay.
We'll be okay. Exactly. I do. Somebody said like I'm glad the ladder made it in. That was one long ass ladder. But yeah, that was very funny. And then you see the clicker up against a wall. Oh my god, that was great. Great. In general, great production design throughout this entire episode.
Yeah.
I don't prologue stuff. The stuff here.
Now forget like clickers embedded in the wall is something from the game. Do they ever come off the wall?
Yeah, they can. If they're awake, if they're not fully dead. Yeah, there's a lot of that. It happens in part 1 and part 2 where it's like, yeah. It's like, oh shit! Like you can never really be sure.
I'm waiting for that.
There's a scene at the end of the game when, spoiler alert, when Ellie's in the when they're in the not sewer but like underground highway area right before they get to the hospital. With all that rushing water. Before that area, there's like Ellie has to open this caged area, and then there's a clicker, and then the clicker underneath like is like lodged against a wall, and then Ellie's like, "Oh shit, Joel, help me!" You have to shoot in between the cage. Anyways, yeah, so it's crazy. But yeah, it happens a lot. What happens next? They're going through the city. I think we've skipped over by this point a lot of the Ellie scene, but we can just kind of combine them.
Great. Bella is Ellie.
Bella is Ellie. So yeah,
to a T.
I think after the Joel ladder scene, I think that's when they come into contact with Marlene and them. So yeah, we'll skip over. We'll skip back to Ellie. But yeah, like you said, Bella is fantastic as Ellie. Straight from the jump, we meet her in cage, in handcuffs to a wall. Let me out, you fuckers! Like it feels like that whole rebellious youth that Ellie has. The voice is there, Bella's there. Like it's all fantastic. Like she's crafting her own version of Ellie, and I love it.
So good.
It's great.
I forgot how vulgar Ellie was until
asshole, fucker.
Until she says that, I'm like, that's right.
Yeah,
I missed you.
Cussing God. I think asshole is her favorite one, or fucker or asshole.
Fucker for sure.
Yeah, fucker, I got you. It's amazing. But yeah, we learned like apparently she has been kidnapped by not kidnapped, but from her perspective, kidnapped by Fedra. She used to go just yesterday, a couple days ago, to a school in the community for children. That apparently Marlene, I'm kind of combining all of these Ellie scenes. That Marlene has like revealed to her that she sent her there. And she says Ellie because at this point, Ellie has been lying to people saying her name is Veronica, which is great. But yeah, and like they've been testing her. They've been testing to see if like why hasn't she turned yet. It was very interesting because like in one of her first scenes, they're like count to 10. She's like 1, 2, 3, 8. Fuck you, which is also very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also established in those scenes that was it in that scene, or is it not till the end? Like how long Ellie's bite has been?
Ooh, I think I don't know when. But I think it might be in that Marlene conversation. I'll have to rewatch.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Marlene straight up says like you're something special, Ellie. Like, and Ellie knows it too. Like she hasn't turned. Like everybody else has been getting turned within. Like there's a poster. It's like if it's on your. There's a poster when the kid came in.
Yeah, the time is like. It's rapid if it's on your face or neck. You're turning in 5 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But if it's on your like arm or torso, it's something like
4 hours,
2 to 8 hours, and then I think it's like 12 to 14 on your leg.
Which does connect. Big spoiler alert! For the Henry and Sam bit, because when Sam is bitten, it happens. He goes off like I think 12 hours or so after 12 to 14 hours afterwards. Like he gets bit during the afternoon, and then some morning afterwards where he starts going crazy.
Oh
Unfortunately.
my god, I forgot about the family. Don't do this
Damn.
to me.
Oh yeah, get ready. This is gonna be episode like
Not
what?
again.
That's gonna be episode like 5 or 4. Oh shit.
I did see one of them in the trip. Fuck.
Oh boy, that scene's gonna be
Because it's wholesome.
It's beautiful. I can't wait. I can because it's traumatizing. But yeah, we learned a lot from Ellie here. That we learned that she basically is immune to this disease. That is why Marlene wants to keep her, and that is why Marlene is changing up operations. I also like the small scene away from Ellie where Marlene's like, we see a little bit of Marlene with the other Fireflies. There's 3 other Fireflies who are doubting her, saying like, why are we not going like in all these different areas? We should bring the fight to them. We should continue this war. Marlene says, war? This isn't a war. It's like they are outnumbering us like 10-1 here. We're like doing strategic fights.
She's saying like 20 years and it's like nothing happens.
Oh yeah, it's just rebellion, right? It's like it's 20 years. This ain't no rebellion.
I'm just sitting here like, we built the Death Star in 19.
Yeah, Star Wars. Rebellions are built on hope, Marlene, and hope it comes in the form of Ellie.
I think Andor is helping my appreciation of the struggle of rebellion.
Oh yeah, it takes a long time. A lot of cooks in the kitchen.
We don't got that Mon Mothma budget no more.
Oh no, not at all, boy. Yeah, and then so we quickly learned that like they were doing all these strategic maneuvering. The Fireflies were within the city, and just in general, I like the introduction to the Fireflies. We saw teases of them throughout the city, like follow the light. I like when Joel said like, if you say follow the light, I swear to God, I'll beat you up, something like that.
Break your jaw.
I'll break your jaw.
Battery.
Battery, Jazz. We need the battery. So yeah, the Fireflies have been teased. So we have all of our factions. Like we have the Tess, Joel, and Ellie faction. We have the Fireflies, who are mostly a faith-based faction. They are going initially to just go in against Fedra because they believe Fedra is doing all these unlawful things. Going back real quick, Nathan mentioned like people getting hanged. Executions, like
public executions,
which is crazy. But in this day and age, you can't put people in prison because like it's a pandemic.
Tess was in lockup.
You're right, Tess was in lockup. But like you have to be like, if you do anything minor, food is so scarce to just like we got less people, more for us, basically, which is savage and dark, but
yeah,
that's the way it is these days. But yeah, I really liked going back to Ellie, seeing the relationship between Marlene and Ellie. She's like, Ellie, are you my mom? Or she says, Marlene, like, are you my mom?
Do I look like your mom?
That's great.
No,
you don't. But yeah, Ellie immediately kind of like likes her. Marlene is kind of talking down to her in a good way. Like they kind of vibe and say like, we're going to need you tomorrow. We're taking you with us. We're going on a journey and we're going to need you to come with us because you're very important. And you better not tell anybody what I'm about to tell you. So Ellie knows she's immune and she knows how important she is. Yeah. And then she mentioned I think earlier Ellie calls her like terrorist. She's like, I'm not a terrorist. Was Riley a terrorist?
Oh,
oof. And the way Bella acts that scene is beautiful. Like the way she like looks down.
Keeps her wife's name.
keep Riley's name out your fucking mouth.
Missing star.
So yeah, you can immediately they tease Riley here. They tease Riley. They tease Ellie's immunity. They tease Ellie's mom as well. You get the sense that Ellie doesn't know her mom because, in a sense, like right, she doesn't know what she looks like really.
I forgot about Ellie's mom.
Me too. Like we were doing the podcast a couple days ago, and they asked me like, when did Ellie's mom die or disappear? I guess right after her birth, something happened to her. But I guess like she had a good relationship with Marlene, and Marlene put her into school so she could watch over Ellie,
right?
Keep her safe, and not join them like Riley did. Oh, spoiler, but yeah, not a spoiler actually. Anyways, because it's insinuated that Riley was also a Firefly.
Right.
Anyways, that's when cut back to Joel and Tess. They meet up with them. Ellie comes barging in, and Joel's just like,
Bam!
It was great.
Battery.
Are you the battery? And then
Are you the battery? Oh, that battery's moldy as hell.
Oh yeah, that battery's cooked. It's gone.
You tried to sell it twice.
Yeah, not great, Bob. Not great. So then there was a shootout. I assume Fedra, was that a shootout between Fedra and the Fireflies?
I think it was Firefly is in his gang.
Oh, Robert's gang?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Homegirl lost an ear. That was hilarious. He's like, why are you giving over to them? You lost an ear. It's like, oh, she's right.
A fucking ear on your fucking head.
Yeah. Marlene shot in the gut. Other girl shot in the ear. So it's like, we're going to give Joel and Tess the mission. Do you accept it? And Joel turns around, keeps the gun pointed at Marlene while he's talking. And at the same time, he has his foot over the knife. And he's like, you asshole. Just kept trying to get the knife back.
Give me the knife.
It was great.
Battery.
Yeah. So then Tess is kind of game to do it. She accepts.
Yeah. Joel is pretty much due because he was just like, hey, they got like a solid truck. I know they do. And we can get Tommy like ease.
Yeah, Fedra repurposes some great military tech. So they have some good trucks. But initially he does decline. He's like, he's like, no way in hell am I doing your mission. Because he doesn't like the Fireflies. He knows Tommy joined the Fireflies and Tommy left the Fireflies. But
you took my brother from me.
Exactly. That kind of thing where it's like, I don't believe in the cause, basically. I don't believe in the cause, the organization. So he immediately says no. Tess convinces him. He then, like you said, convinces himself because they have some good supplies. And it's a good deal. Marlene says, Fireflies will give you everything you want. You just got to bring this girl, Ellie, to the State House. And then,
there's supposed to be like a meeting in town, right?
Yeah, they're going to the State House, which is in Boston, that building with the Gordon Dome.
That shit that's so fucking far. Every time I think I finish a segment and I'm getting close, I'm not.
You're not. No. You have
and
to cut through
we got to go around.
Yeah. But, in modern day, if they're there by car, it's probably like 30 minutes away by car.
I noticed this playing Uncharted as well, where like there's a location and like we'll finish a fight scene and they're like, oh, there it is. Pan over, pan back, and I'm just like, you fucking dog.
It's gonna be a lot of walking and running.
Oh, how many bullets I got?
That was me all the time on Last of Us. How many bullets I got for this? Just get to the save point. But yeah, and then this is a big turning point for Joel and a big turning point for Ellie. They don't know it yet, but they just met two of the people respectively that are going to change their lives. Like Joel is going to change Ellie's life for better and for worse, and Ellie's going to change Joel's life for better and for worse. Like this is like we mentioned at the top of this episode, maybe it was off air, but as Neil Druckmann, the creator, always says, like this is the turning point in the game. And this is the turning point in the story. So this had to be in this first episode. I'm so glad that we got to see this scene in the first episode to really establish, like, these are our trio. We got Tess, Joel, and Ellie. And we're going to stick with them for however long as we can. And they're going to change their lives forever. This is where the journey truly begins. And I love that.
Someone has come along.
Someone has come along. Ellie has come along. Joel has come along. They're gonna
impact each other. Logan.
He's a lot like you. Very much like
you. And they are actually. That's a point I wrote down from the podcast.
Nice. Yeah, and then we're reaching the end here as Ellie, Joel, and Tess. They're gonna wait around at night. They're gonna wait around in the afternoon. Tess is going to go scouting for a bit, leaving Joel and Ellie alone. That's when Ellie takes a look around the room here. Joel slumps on the couch, gets his rest like an old man.
He's 56.
Yeah, true. And then she's looking through like the radio. She immediately sees like the B/F 60s, 70s, 80s question mark. And she kind of asks him about it. What?
There's question is an X for 80s.
X for 80s. Okay.
Presumably just like you're done. Nothing's good.
Nothing's good. But yeah,
And
she doesn't know that. She asked him about that. She was like, you talk in your sleep.
So then she tricks him with a song by Wham, George Michael. And he's just like, oh shit. Gotcha.
80s means bad.
Code broken.
Code broken. That was great. Love Ellie.
So good.
And I like how they included this whole code bit in terms of like, because this wasn't in the game, which is brand new, but it was really cool just to see like the kind of things a smuggler would probably do. Joel is a smuggler, so it makes sense. He is looking for his
final power makes for a powerful final shot.
Oh yeah, I love it when shows end with a good needle drop.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out, finally, I think someone shared in one of the chats that like when they're like making their way toward the city, which looks like identical to the game, the building fall on the building.
Beautiful.
You hear the sound of clickers, but there actually is like one like savage clicker on a rooftop.
Yeah,
the bottom corner. I'm like, oh shit!
I did not even see that. I saw that on Twitter this morning. I'm like, oh, people were eagle-eyed out there. I did not see that.
How did they do it?
How did he do that? That's really cool. But yeah, they go outside. They got to sneak by the federal officers for the first time. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time Ellie is seen outside. It's very reminiscent of Ray. Like, I haven't seen this much green in the galaxy. Like, I love these kind of tropes where the younger character is with this experienced other character, and she just hasn't seen the outside world. Ray hadn't seen the outside world, and Ellie hasn't been outside of the Boston QZ zone school area in a long time. And she gets like fresh air. She's outside the city a little bit. She's not where she's supposed to be, but she's just like, wow, it's very cool. So yeah, they're outside. They got to sneak by the lights from the federal officers. They get past this wall. They're almost got home free. And they run into the same guy that Joe was trading with earlier in the episode. And he told Joe, like, do not come outside at night. They've had some Firefly activity, so people are going to be very jittery. You can't make good decisions at night, that kind of thing.
And I, like a lot of people I was watched the scene, were just like, oh, it's our boy. We're good.
Yep.
Right?
Nope.
Right?
Battery? Battery? Do you have battery? But it all made sense. Because the Frederick guy, like, it made sense. He's like, I told you you're not supposed to be here. You're against the rules. I unfortunately got to do it. I'm not going to be bribed by you anymore. We're going to do this routine checkup. And he's doing the routine on Tess, on Joel. Meanwhile, Tess and Joel are constantly arguing, like, come on, just let us pass. We're going to do anything we can. Come on. Mm-hmm. Like, they're making these big deals, like, we'll give you 50%, 30%. We'll give you all of our materials if you just let us pass. Because they can't go to prison with the girl now. They have Ellie to take care of. But Ellie is, like, fidgeting because she knows if they scan her, she's immune now. She knows shit's going to get real. Because as Marlene said, nobody must know or you will die. So, yeah, she stabs the guy in the leg. And then the guy, like, points the gun at him, at them. And this is where we get a fantastic scene.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much to break down here. But, yeah, like, Joel immediately goes into his fatherly, like I mentioned earlier, he still has those fatherly instincts. Immediately gets that fatherly instinct to protect her. He puts himself in front of Ellie. And then we get a beautiful flashback, tragic yet beautiful flashback between Ellie and Joel in the present, and then Sarah and Joel in the back in the flashback.
Yeah,
and it's used to such great effect because at this moment Joel's like feeling a lot of different emotions, right? He's sad because he doesn't want this to happen again. He's not reminiscing, but he's this incident is bringing back to memory such a traumatic incident for him.
It's definitely
so sad.
What anybody would have been through who lives through something like this has definitely thought.
Yeah,
for more than an unhealthy amount of time, just like, what would I have done different?
Exactly.
And this is that moment.
This is that moment. This is him saying, I was so helpless back then, but now I'm not. So that sadness turns to anger, and he just unleashes on the guy. And it's like a clip has just been unlocked inside of Joel's head, and he just full primal anger. And And it's that love for Sarah, right? You can kind of compare that love for Sarah is coming back now.
Mm-hmm.
And that connection, however short it may have been, less than 24 hours with Ellie, is like, I have to protect this girl. And it's that paternal instinct that just clicks inside of him. And he just unloads and basically kills the guy. Punches him to death.
Which brings you the quote I got from the pod.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait.
Beautiful stuff coming from Neil himself,
as
interviewed by Troy Baker himself. So basically, in comparison to the different scenes, Sarah sees Joel kill that woman, and she's mortified. She's crying. But Ellie sees Joel kill this guy, and she leans in. Joel was acting in defense, and Sarah was upset by it. But this guy wasn't threatening Joel's life particularly, but he beats him to death, punches him over and over and over again, and Ellie is activated by Neil's description.
I think that was Craig who said that as well.
Which
that word activated, that was interesting. Right?
Which we know will echo forward, especially by
in part 2 for
part
sure.
2. It's like the crux.
It's the crux, yeah. This whole notion of like, I like seeing this guy protect me. Like, I feel better now. I feel activated as I see this other guy risk his life to protect me. She hasn't had that before. So it's something, a new experience for her again, and she revels in it, unlike Sarah. And that's a very interesting, dangerous thing to see.
Yeah, there further comment. I was saying it's not just like Sarah was a kid and Ellie is also a kid in terms of their connection. There's a connection already between Joel and Ellie that is different from the connection with his own daughter, perhaps potentially stronger and certainly more dangerous. There's a looking up from Ellie's perspective, looking up to what this man is capable of that Ellie wants for herself.
What do you think about that quote in terms of like what Ellie wants for herself?
I think just like the situations she's in, and she, is in like probably like a lot of like decisions being made for her, kind of like a helpless existence, and she wants to like have that power to like fight for her own.
Yeah,
kind of like take back control of.
Control, and I think that's going to inform a lot of the spoiler alert, a lot of the later decisions in the series, where she's going to constantly be asking Joel, like, okay, thank you so much for protecting me. Now I want to do that. Like when she gets her first kill, when she's not going to be as like nonchalant about it as other people, but like she's going to be ready to kill. She's going to be ready to defend herself when necessary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's another point for being activated. And she's willing to protect the people that she cares about too. So yeah, it's like they already have an interesting relationship. They already have, however fresh it may be, a unique relationship. Because Joel is exhibiting to Ellie just how savage that he can be, how protective that he can be, what he's willing to do to survive. And Ellie is like, okay, I like this part of this new guy I just met a couple hours ago. I like this side of him. It's interesting. Like I can see the anger inside of him, the willingness to do what he has to do. It's brand new to Ellie. And I think that she, contrary to other people, she likes it. And she's going to be willing to do the same thing later on. And just it's the start of a crazy journey. And that goes into the ending song here that starts to play. Do you have the song name? Never Let Me Go, right? Something like that? Never Let Me Go. And it's about like two characters who go on a journey. I think Craig talked about it like it's a different kind of journey in the song, but in the context of the show,
I think they said the original context was like talking about drugs.
Okay, yeah, drugs and alcohol.
Which arguably this source of violence for Ellie it's probably.
Is a drug of violence, drug of love. Yeah, good idea there, Nathan.
Drug of power.
Drug of power, exactly. They're going to go on a journey, and as Craig mentioned, as fans have mentioned, like Joel and Ellie's journey is very up and down. It's an emotional roller coaster. They're going to do some great things together. They're going to do some bad things together. They're going to love each other. They're going to hate each other. It's such an emotional roller coaster of emotions that they go through. it's not a cycle. It's twisty and it goes through a lot of different turns. But at the center of it all is a very core relationship of love, and that's the whole focus of the show. And for me, it's so fascinating seeing Craig, the director, producer, writer of the show, challenge that notion of love. How far are you willing to go for the person that you love? That's what this series is all about. How far are you willing to go for the person that you love? And challenging the concept of love. Love can be a great thing, but it can also be a very bad thing. And the way that the game challenges that, challenges the gamer, and the way the series is going to challenge the audience to accept those things is very interesting.
I think that's going to be no more prevalent than by the finale itself when we get to presume if it is like the finale of the first game and what that
I think so.
That consequence leads into in the second game is basically the manifestation of the consequence of that love.
Exactly. I can't wait. But in general, this was a fantastic premiere. Very unrelenting, very tense from the beginning of the episode to the very end. I loved every second of it. It was fun. It was tragic. It was heartbreaking. Just like the game, I'm super invested. I'm super hooked. I'm excited to see a lot of the new ways that this adaptation is going to change the game, evolve the game, evolve the way I look at the series. I'm excited to see what's next. Episode 2 is going to be directed by Neil. He directed a lot of the games, wrote a lot of the games. So, yeah, I have full confidence that he'll be a great director.
I'm excited to see what he delivers for episode 2. And then also I've been hearing rumblings of people who got screeners for the few episodes that episode 3 is probably going to be one of the best episodes all year.
The Bill and Frank TV episode. Yeah, probably.
Very exciting.
That's why I assume Bill and Frank's going to be in episode 3. But yeah, that was great. We spent an hour and 26 minutes talking about The Last of Us.
Shaved half our time. We're getting better.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit better. Yeah.
It's because we're limited by spoilers. We can't. Dive into.
Exactly. But hopefully, when the show gets a season 2, maybe a season 3 as well. I think they are going to give us a lot of what happened between part 1 and part 2 of The Last of Us.
Oh yeah. It kind of. Sure. I mean, that second game kind of does thrive in a lot of flashback scenarios.
Exactly.
The whole game's like running through. You go through a certain point, and then you do go back.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. But up next, we want to talk about the biggest, the first entry, Phase 5 for the MCU.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Which trailer do we watch here?
Look up Marvel Entertainment.
Okay, Marvel Entertainment. Found it.
And then should be the thumbnail with King that says new trailer.
Okay, got it.
Because they've been posting TV spots lately. I caught one, which I think helped my theory. I dove into some comic stuff with King. Cut the music here.
I do tab, right?
Yeah.
Tab. There we go. Perfect. Can you see this?
I can.
Awesome. Does Carson do full screen? What is he
I believe, yeah, he does.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, is the volume working?
When we put the music on, the volume on?
Yeah, like a low register. Not too loud, because I don't think we'll be able to hear each other. Maybe like a quarter, yeah.
Let's see what that looks like.
Yes, good. Interesting man. Scott Lang. You're an Avenger.
Wasp.
You have a daughter.
Cassie.
But you've lost a lot of time.
I like this emotional hook in the trailer. That he's lost a lot of time with Cassie. And that's really gonna be like the crux of like why he has to do what he has to do here.
Absolutely.
Who are you?
I'm the GOAT.
Man, he can give you the one thing you want.
Time. Oh, I love the blue.
Love it.
Time.
The city is huge.
Oh, yeah. Get small.
Yes, Mom. She knows who he is. What's her name again? The wife?
Trust him.
I don't care who this guy
Janet.
Janet. Yeah, Janet knows King.
He can give us a second chance.
I was shocked by seeing this. Like, what? Is he falling for King? Whoa, this whole
I
shot
think
is-
so.
Love this shot. Really cool.
Way of water, that you?
Let me make this easy for you. You will
Wow, that's crazy.
Those are not ants. That is other
call
Ant-Mans.
life.
Other Ant-Man. Yeah. Like, are we getting a war here at the end? Like, there were so many battles going on at the end.
This is all my fault.
Cassie blames herself. That guy's turning to shreds. That's
I
brutal.
had to watch this.
Oh my god.
Oh, the ringer.
Man. Modoc!
Hey.
You thought you could win.
Apparently his arm is damaged there. What
Huh.
happened?
I don't have to win.
Or at least it's closed. Or his right arm came off.
We both just have to lose.
I was losing my mind.
I'm sorry, Cassie.
Oh shit. Ant-Man ain't walking out of this one.
Maybe. Get tickets now.
Maybe. Man's roll, Nathan. Where do we begin?
Well. That's
So he goes to the quantum realm. Because like, you know, she is super nervous. The mom is super nervous. She's like, what? In the first teaser trailer, we see her being like, "Wait, you unlock something for the quantum realm? Like, you shouldn't do that." Like, she knows not to go back into the quantum realm. It's a bad place in general. But I think she knows Kang too. It's just like, Kang's a bad dude. Like, yeah,
She does. And essentially, at first, you're just supposed to take into consideration. Well, yeah, she's been stuck down there for 30 years. There's a lot of horrors within the quantum realm, but it's established, especially in the first trailer, and this one, with her knowledge that there's something more sinister afoot down there, something I never told you. And then she breaks down a lot more here. Kang is of how he can rewrite timelines and shatter them.
Yeah. She's like, "Have you ever played Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions?"
Did you see the Loki season finale?
Exactly. Kang's not a great dude.
No, we
but
killed the
regardless-
best version.
I know. We killed the happiest.
Your Sylvie did this.
Hey, Sylvie's the best character ever. Don't blame her. She did what she had to do.
I love it, Sylvie.
Yeah,
I understand the motivation.
me too. But yeah, so I think we're gonna see some lines between her and Kang. Maybe they meet up again in this trailer. Maybe some people have been theorizing that she's the reason why Kang's stranded.
Oh,
When she realized that Kang's a horrible dude, she destroyed his way to get out. And then she got rescued by Hank, of course, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. And then ever since, he's like, "Fuck, now I can't get out." And then now he brings Ant-Man back in. So you might have some words for Janet, like, "Yo, you screwed me over when you were in here."
I don't know if it was
Maybe.
a theory I was looking at was
Oh,
that He Who Remains from Loki.
oh,
trapped him here
screwed him. Oh shit.
because he's
It
very
doesn't-
aware of his not so kind alternatives.
True. I like that one a little bit too. That's very interesting. And he can tell Ant-Man that yeah, this Kang can have a talk with Ant-Man the same way He Who Remains talked to Loki, saying like, "Yeah, there are other versions of me. So even if you kill me, you can't stop what's going to come." Even though I think this Kang is going to be the one we see in King Dynasty. Do you agree?
50-50. I can see.
Or at least this is one of the Kangs in King Dynasty. We could see a lot of Kangs in King Dynasty.
I imagine we'll get probably multiple.
Yeah.
I can even imagine we'll get different factions of the Avengers within that film, and they'll all still be in different locations, but can all still be going up against Kang no matter the location.
Ooh, that's really cool. It's crazy. We're in 2023 now. Avengers comes out 2025, I think, right?
King Dynasty does, and then Secret Wars got pushed
2026.
a year. Yeah.
We still haven't seen our Avengers reunite since 2019.
No,
They've been so scattered. Granted, we've had a lot of TV shows more so than movies these last couple of years.
I was just like, I was kind of like trying to make a list, and there's at least like we're closing on like 30 new teammates, man.
30,
Something like that.
but not Avengers level teammates though.
I mean,
Really?
kinda. I think
Like,
so.
I wouldn't include like the Loki cast to be Avengers level characters or Miss Marvel cast to be Avengers level characters.
Oh, they will for though.
You think we're gonna see Loki and Sylvie and them in the Avengers?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if it's Kang related.
Oh, I mean, it's possible.
I think definitely Miss Marvel, especially after the Marvels.
Yeah, I could definitely see Miss Marvel coming to the assistance.
Even She-Hulk, honestly.
I can't see She-Hulk coming in. Like when I think of like who's gonna be our team to go against Kang and King Dynasty, I'm thinking like Shang-Chi definitely.
Oh yeah.
Probably some of the new Black Panther Wakanda crew is gonna come in and help. Doctor Strange, of course, Captain Marvel. But I guess you kind of do make a great point that Miss Marvel is going to be in the Marvels, so she'll be a big film character as well. So she can definitely help out in King Dynasty. I just never included her in the new Avengers roster.
I was even when I was counting up people, I wasn't even including any Guardians. Because
I'm not either.
I don't know what's coming further for that.
Yeah, I'm not including them either.
The Eternals are still a factor.
I don't know if they'll be up in they'll be in King Dynasty.
Some of them may. Depends.
It's weird with them. Yeah. Florence Pugh, would she be in King Dynasty?
I think so.
Maybe
Black
not.
Widow is, then yeah, she is. I mean, if Black Widow's an Endgame, then I could see her being
True.
something like this.
She's equally as skilled. Yeah.
Kate Bishop for sure.
You think so? I would love it. Where's she been? I miss her. Where's Haley Steinfeld?
We just had her last year.
It has only been last year.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years. She was in 2021.
It just became 2023.
Yeah, true.
That was Christmas time.
It's been a year. You're right.
But Ant-Man.
Anyways, Ant-Man. Yeah. So a new Kang kind of trapping him here would be awesome. I like that theory a lot. But yeah, let's talk about these rings. You can still see the clip, right?
Yeah.
I can give you anything you want. He can rewrite existence. We see him working with MODOK in the back there. That's MODOK.
Mm-hmm.
And
And his faceless army that is comics.
MODOK's faceless army.
Kang's.
Kang's. Okay, cool. Like I like this. I like this. I hope they hammer it home. I hope this emotional hook lands between Cassie and Ant-Man. People who have lost time. Of course, Ant-Man lost time and he wants to regroup with his family. Kang lost time, but it's not for as heartwarming a reason as Scott here. We still don't know what Kang wants to do when he gets out. Is it just world domination? Like,
He is the conqueror.
the interesting thing about Thanos, like Thanos had a simple idea of like balancing the universe, but like we saw a lot of Thanos that made him a compelling villain. What's gonna make Kang a compelling villain? Why does he want to just conquer? Because he can, or like what's gonna make him super compelling?
I guess
You have Jonathan Majors here, so come on.
I mean, there's so many different versions of Kang and their origins.
Yeah.
One I know was after like he did get all the potential of time, he kind of got bored with it, so he went back in time to rule in Egypt as Rama Tut.
Yeah.
Which eventually leads to a run of Fantastic Four. Different things.
You think we're ever going to see like a big Ramatut Easter egg, like a flashback to Ramatut?
I could see it happening.
Me too.
Actually, I think I wouldn't be surprised with the way Loki jumps different timelines. Probably there.
Yeah, he's most likely to see a Ramatut version because that's one of the most famous versions of Kang. Like,
yeah,
this one that we see in Ant-Man and the one that we'll see in King Dynasty, like the most popular version, him in his full power. And then Roma Touch, the one that people know the most as well.
Even his modern
Look at
suit
this
in
shot.
it's gorgeous.
Wow.
Even Kang's modern suit in this film has elements of like Egyptian robe cloth
Oh, true.
embedded
Yeah.
within it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is interesting. This seemingly is the location that Kang cannot get to, which is why he's requesting Ant-Man to be the thief that he is and save or get the technology. This
Now
is,
there-
of course, what? Say
Now
it.
there is a thing in the comics, and I think they kind of showed it in this trailer. There was always like a shot in the first trailer of like Kang putting this orb in a device.
Yeah.
In the comics, there's this specific crystal, and I think it's I'm blanking on the specific use of it, but I do think it is the MacGuffin for this film that he needs to be able to actually break free of his prison, presumably put here by the other He Who Remains.
So yeah, this is Cassie, and these are all Ant-Men.
All different variants that we saw. I don't know what's causing the split. I guess Kang just kind of like has that willpower because there's no ants down here for him to control, so he just tap into his own consciousness, I guess.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Or they all could just be helping Scott out, saying like, "We just need one of us to win, please."
Yeah. That was another theory I was having on Twitter. Is that I think maybe because there's no way they showcase the death of Scott in this trailer. Marvel is better than that. They're not Sony.
Scott's not dying. Yeah.
But you also don't want to have just, an empty, empty conclusion. So I think it's possible that maybe a Scott dies of one of these variants that kind of has like a impact on our Scott after seeing it.
Yeah. If it is another Scott, hopefully that other Scott has a good amount of screen time that it makes it emotional, not just like, okay, cool, was somebody else. Like,
yeah.
I can also see Hank dying here.
Oh,
I can definitely see Hank dying.
I don't know. I didn't even consider.
It's
It's funny. I feel like Hank's kind of taking a back seat in this movie. I haven't.
He might be.
Really, I mean, he is like around and he's with Janet the whole time. But...
Yeah. So we'll see. He might not. You're right. He might not have a good enough arc to be like a compelling death, but we'll see. But yeah, these rings. Want to talk about those rings?
Yeah. There was an interesting theory being posed that because of the continuous, basically, the color orange is a big significance with like the color of the quantum realm itself for multiple movies now, and it also matches because there tends to be like similar power sets of being the same color within the MCU, kind of like a flow of these different things. One of which, this one, the energy of the quantum realm matches a lot of the expanded beacon at the end of Shang-Chi that the rings were giving off of.
Yes.
And
at the end
because
of Shang-Chi, they were like, it's sending out a signal to what? To who?
Yeah. And because we also know that the director of Shang-Chi is handling the Kang Dynasty, suffice to say, seeds could be planted for sure, and especially with the overarching Marvel universe, you can slip things into other movies, and people will play ball. Somebody was posing a theory that sounded really cool that the Avengers from the future who had fought Kang basically took at least some of the 10 rings into a quantum level and trapped the device he would need to escape, as it were. And we know that could still be a cause of He Who Remains because he wrote specific timelines to make that so.
True. So then will the Avengers from the other universe be the reason how we get this 10 rings in Shang-Chi in the past? Where they come from? Or different entirely?
Maybe not necessarily. I think there's probably existence of 10 rings in many different universes.
Okay, yeah.
Just like Infinity Stones.
I was thinking like this King was like the reason how Shang-Chi got the 10 rings. But yeah, in general, like there seems to be a heavy connection between this and the 10 rings, and that might be explored here or in Avengers King Dynasty. But yeah, I think there's definitely a connection because they just look so similar. The color looks the same, even the markings look the same. People have had the same thing about the bangle on Miss Marvel. could be similar as well.
You can even see like there's markings on the rings
Yeah.
here, which I know they're using heavily in like the custom Quantumania title logo on the back of those set chairs.
Exactly. That's a huge army by King, by the way. Huge army.
Huge.
So,
The TVA, this is not.
not at all. So this is definitely setting up like how threatening he can be on an Avengers level.
Yeah.
Which is why like we see like these big battles later on. I'm like, what's gonna happen? Who's gonna be fighting against King? All these other people in the quantum realm? Are they gonna unite like a rebellion kind of thing?
Well, they are. It does seem like there's a couple shots where like his attack ships are like assaulting residents of the quantum realm.
Mm-hmm. But I do like how he says like she doesn't want to see this. I'm like, oh shit,
They don't want her to watch this.
that's brutal. Like, what's gonna happen here?
And
See,
I
like
hear
his right arm is kind of like sleeveless now.
oh yeah,
So I wonder what happened there.
that's
yeah,
a big thing.
Beating the heck out of him.
The damage on Scott's helmet. Scott cannot use his powers without that helmet. That is a thing established in the first film. Like there's a scene like he was like locked up in the back of a police car and like he had to like really like shimmy his head into the helmet so he could actually shrink or grow. Without that suit locked in, he can't use his power. He's literally in this fight just a man boxing this being.
Yeah. That's going to be very interesting. How is he going to escape this? I guarantee you he's going to live because they don't tease his death in here. And again, it's weird how the trailer kind of teased like the final fight of the movie. That's weird.
That's what I'm saying. This could be
trick.
a variant. I think what I was initially pitching is like our Scott does initially go along with this deal, and a variant of Scott is not for it. And I think throughout the film, he'll kind of show Scott the light to get him back on our side, and then this Scott will make things right, so Cassie can live on no matter like what universe you're from. That's Cassie.
Mm-hmm.
And so he'll live on. And I was like 50-50 if like Scott would take this Kang down with him because we know there's infinite ones. But even if not, we know that
yeah, so many battles going on. Yeah, even if not what?
Even if he doesn't take down Kang, just the act of allowing his family to escape to live and fight another day is just as impactful.
Big time. Yeah, Scott's always willing to take the ultimate sacrifice.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Jesus. It's breaking out that Creed 3.
Big time. Like you could win. Yeah, this perspective is really cool. Smash.
Damn.
Yeah. Uh-oh. You just have to lose.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. Did you get your tickets yet?
No, I need to. Because initially I was like thinking that because I never went to the movies the other night. And I want my slots open, but I really should snag my seat.
I'll get them the day before, like I always do.
Monster.
Of course.
Mad. I wonder how the box office will perform on this one because like the Ant-Man movies were never like
big,
super crushing. Like I remember going opening night to Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I was looking around, and I was like, really?
Ant-Man and the Wasp made $622 million worldwide. Pretty solid. I don't know what the opening weekend was. Ant-Man 2 opening weekend. 76 million opening weekend. I don't know if this scratches 100. I'll say 90.
Okay.
I'll say 90 million. 90 to 100 million opening weekend. That can be big.
250 million, baby.
50 million. Yes.
I've never once gotten that.
Never. I mean, Spider-Man.
Got Spider-Man above and beyond on that one.
Yeah. Avatar 2 just passed Spider-Man this weekend.
Fun fact, bear with me. Connecting this together. You remember the scene where Scott comes back in Endgame?
Yes.
He's walking on the streets and he sees that kid on a bike.
Yes.
He's like, hey, what the hell happened here? And he just kind of like That's off.
Mm-hmm.
That kid is Spider from Way of Water.
Holy shit! Really?
It is
Wow.
wild,
Get that paycheck, Spider.
right? Got my
Quick
check.
stuff before we end the episode. Alien series from Noah Hawley is back. Is moving forward in 2023. Is finally can start filming this summer.
At last.
That's exciting because we've been playing Alien Isolation. Very excited to see more Alien content. Yeah, not much is known like in terms of cast or anything else. There's rumors like it's going to take place on Earth. That's about it, though.
Right.
Also, in terms of Alien and versus Predator, Prey sequel might be in the books. Amber
Ooh.
Midhunter, whatever.
Mid
last name
Thunder,
is.
yeah.
Midthunder was doing, Golden Globes interviews, whatever, during this award season, and she said, like, yeah, she had a great time working on Prey, and there's a possibility for a Prey sequel. Which begs me to ask you, if there was a Prey sequel, is it just going to be more Prey versus Amber, or is it going to be like in Aliens? Like, I figure it's just more Prey, like as a better Predator 2.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be I mean, there was a little tease of the ships coming down for to the village. Whether or not the story would continue there. I mean, she won fair and square, so hopefully by the rules established in Predator 2, they'll honor her.
It's gonna be like a revenge mission. Is she gonna travel to a different tribe? Like, I'm excited. Like, I think there is a room. I trust Dan Trachtenberger, whatever his last name is. I trust him completely. He directed the hell out of Prey. It's one of my favorite movies of last year. So
there's people have definitely like pitched the idea of like doing different time periods of Warriors, and dude, if they did like ancient medieval Japan, with the Predator,
there's so much room. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, people are saying like medieval Japan, hell, Egypt would be really cool.
Ooh,
damn. There's a lot of good stuff they can do for Predators, not for Aliens.
Mesopotamians.
Yeah, exactly. That's exciting. Speaking of other sequels, Hilder, last name G, whatever, is back to score Joker 2.
Right. Not much to say, but the score was phenomenal for Joker 1.
And she did the Tar score, and Tar doesn't have much of a score, but she did it.
Oh.
And I think she did the score for was she the score for Woman Talking or something? She did something else last year that was really good. Can't get into it. Paul Mescal has been cast in Gladiators, another sequel, legacy sequel. I still have not watched Gladiators, but I know Paul Mescal because I've seen After Sun, and he's phenomenal in After.
I too have yet to see Gladiator.
Commentary, probably not. I think I want to watch Gladiator like in the comfort of my own home.
Released in the year 2000.
Jeez.
3 years before the outbreak.
But yeah, apparently Timothy Chalamet and other people were up for the role, and Paul Mescal just went out. I don't believe the Timothy Chalamet part because his lawyer came out and was like, or his agent or whatever was like, he hasn't been auditioning for roles in years because he's that good. But Paul Mescal in Gladiator is very interesting.
This is random. I'm just
sure.
I'm booking my tickets to Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh yeah.
Quantumania, and the runtime's 2 hours 5 minutes.
The longest Ant-Man film, apparently.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I know the Ant-Man 1 is definitely under 2 hours. It's like hour and 45. And I think Ant-Man and the Wasp is like hour and 55, and this is 2 hours and 5 minutes. So I just remember hearing it that this is the longest Ant-Man movie.
Well, this will make multiple viewings easy.
Oh, jeez. I think I'll go once. I usually go once on that Thursday. I'll go twice if it's really good.
I think Jonathan Majors alone will pull you in.
I mean, he's great. I keep trying to convince my dad, like, come on, he's gonna be the next big Avengers villain. He's like, oh, really? I'll just watch Avengers. I'm like, damn it.
Maybe you can also pitch to him like, it's the start of Phase 5.
I tried everything.
Shang-Chi director is gonna be taking the reins.
He's excited for him, or he's excited for the next Avengers. He does not.
He won't know what's going on.
He doesn't like Spider-Man. He doesn't like Ant-Man. He doesn't like Thor. He did not watch Loki.
Oh, what the hell?
It's bad.
He's lost.
He saw Black Panther. He saw Shang-Chi. I mean,
You said he doesn't like Spider-Man either.
Not at all.
What about Thor?
That whiny kid. Thor, not a fan of.
What does he like?
But again, Black Panther. What else did we go see? We saw Black Widow together. We saw Shang-Chi together. Yeah, he likes those kind of things.
Carson?
Basically.
Carson's just an active MCU hater who infiltrated our ranks.
Have you seen the Sea Beast movie on Netflix?
I've not. I think we were talking about it the other night. I need to check it out.
You're right, we did. But yeah, there's a Sea Beast sequel in the books, which is exciting. Apparently, it had like a big success. It's like the biggest animated movie in Netflix history. You know Netflix and their stats. But
yeah,
I'm excited. I think Sea Beast is like my second favorite animated movie of. Third favorite animated movie of 2022 because I love Puss in Boots and I love Pinocchio. I'd probably go Pinocchio, Puss in Boots, The Sea Beast, The Bad Guys, and then like Wendell and Wild, which I did not like last year. But yeah, The Sea Beast is an excellent pirate adventure movie on Netflix. If everybody's watching still, please watch The Sea Beast on Netflix. It's fantastic. And The Bad Guys is on Netflix. I recommend watching that one as well because The Bad Guys is really fun.
Nice.
Yep. My brother's like, "Why are you still playing?" I'm like, "My guy's doing something online." But yeah, that's about it. Oh, I want to end Avatar: The Last Airbender film TV slate. Very interesting. This is from courtesy of Avatar News. If you do not follow Avatar News on Twitter, I recommend it because they are fantastic. But they said Avatar Studios is going to be big starting in 2025. But this year, 2023, is the year the Netflix live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender debuts.
Oh,
They've been saying book one comes out in summer 2023. That was corroborated earlier today by another famous scooper. I forget his name. It's a guy that starts like with My Time to Shine.
Oh, right.
That guy. He also confirmed summer 2023. So I assume we'll get a trailer in March or April for live action Avatar. This was something I wasn't really interested in, but I've been getting progressively more hyped because of the cast and the creators are excited for it.
I heard another report recently from Avatar News that Avatar Studios is going to be working with Netflix with their series to establish and introduce like new things for like canonical reasons for their other projects.
Exactly. So that was an interesting article because we all know Mike and Brian left the Netflix show.
Right.
And then we were all like, "Ooh, that's not a good look." But this article comes out saying Avatar Studios still wants to do good tie-in material with the content. We already know like Avatar Kuruk, the water avatar prior to Avatar Roku, and prior to Avatar Kyoshi, the water-based avatar, is going to be in season 1. He was not in season 1 earlier. All we saw of him was in the season 3 finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender when Aang's like, "How do I kill Ozai?" And then he showed up along with Ozai, or along with the other past avatars. But certain past avatars are going to be in season 1, which is a change. It's going to be very interesting.
It was so funny the way like Aang is like trying so desperately, like, "How do I stop him?" You gotta kill him.
You gotta kill him.
You just gotta kill him.
Kiyoshi's like, "Kill his ass."
She doubled down. He was like, "I knew I shouldn't ask you."
He was like, "Yeah, you're crazy." But yeah, so then 2023 we get Avatar, Netflix. But then the big stuff happens in 2025 with the adult Team Avatar movie. We know about this. Right. But also in 2025 we get possibly season 2 of the Netflix show, and in the wintertime, a new Earth Avatar animated series takes place hundreds of years, about 100 years after Korra, which theorized to be cyberpunk. We're thinking people would theorize modern day, or there's only 2 options: cyberpunk or modern day. And I think cyberpunk is the best route to go because modern day Avatar just looks weird. Even though
imagine a cyberpunk realm where industrialization comes through, so like a lot less Earth to work with.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, right? Yeah, that'll be very challenging if we're kind of like Earth benders in that time period.
But he is the Avatar,
Um,
so
Like in Korra, we see people using like it's like kind of set in like in the 1900s ish. Like you see like old
old school
timey
reporter,
stuff.
see?
Yeah. Oh, Avatar Korra, the fire ferrets. Hey, like it's like 1900s ish. Things are evolving. You get blimps, you get cars. There's no guns, but you get kind of like those projectile weapons in Korra. But yeah, it's very interesting. But the Zuko film is apparently 2026, just a year after the adult Aang Avatar movie in 2025. I don't know if this will go through. I never figured that Avatar Studios would be doing a new movie every year starting in 2025. That seems very fast. I mean, I would love it. And if there are different teams working on it, I have faith in them. But for now, Avatar News says Zuko movie in 2025 after the adult team Avatar movie. Oh, wait, Zuko in 2026, Avatar Aang movie Adult Squad in 2025. And then spin-off series, Netflix series happens in the subsequent years. So 2023 is going to be a big year. 2024 is going to be a gap year. And then 2025 is where it all begins for Avatar The Last Airbender. That's about it, though. Clocking a good 2 hours flat. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
That's not how we do it.
How do we usually do it?
We go over.
We can talk. No, that's it. We're good.
All right. Well, where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9, reacting to all things. I don't know. Last of Us. I love the premiere, so I'm gonna be talking about it every week, probably multiple times a week. We do Bad Batch reviews every week, so catch us on Thursday later this week to recap the Bad Batch. Mandalorian trailer just dropped yesterday, so we'll be talking about the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer as well. In terms of anime news, Attack on Titan decided to drop a trailer at 4 a.m. last night. I was luckily awake. And Attack on Titan is confirmed to air its final episodes starting in March. They're going to split up it's weird because the final season, part 3, that is splitting up into 2 parts. It's weird. But either way, the final season is being split up into 2 parts this year, starting in March. Yeah, it's weird. Part 3, part 1, basically, is in March. Part 2 doesn't have a date yet, but I'm assuming summer or the fall. But yeah, this is the year the Attack on Titan anime is going to end. It's very emotional. I love the show so much. Besides that, yeah, going back to work tomorrow. Not happy about it, Bob.
Oh, no. Well, bane of my existence, please follow my show. Trying, failing, trying. Successfully failing. Upwards. It's just I need to really sit down and commit. It's tricky. But it's coming. I just want to get stuff done so I could show you guys something. But not just show you guys something like the last time. I mean get it crisp in the oven, baby.
Take your time. You cooking.
I've been cooking for a decade. I'm done. Just getting started. But yeah, very excited about that. I don't do anything else. So yeah, I'll leave it there. We're talking about The Last of Us, and I'm just like, do I restart playing it?
Yes.
Evan, I gotta finish Uncharted 3.
Well, yeah, finish the Uncharted series first, because you haven't played Uncharted 4, right?
No, not yet. And there's also the
Lost Legacy sequel.
Lost Legacy
spin-off. Yeah, finish off the Uncharted ones first. Those are great games.
All right, well, I'll do that. That being said, if you guys enjoyed our podcast, be sure to like button, subscribe already. Check back soon because we're going to be doing a commentary sometime this week for Paranormal Activity 4.
Oh, yeah.
Also with Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania star, Catherine Newton.
She's in Ant-Man 4? Paranormal Activity 4?
She's the lead, yes.
Sweet. Love her. She's great.
Was she a no name at the time? I don't know.
Maybe.
But yeah, very excited to do that. And then, like we said, Hyperspace Hub. But yeah, that being said, hope you have a great day and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.